Hello again, everyone. Today I want to make a card using some new, to me, Alexandra Renke dies that are now stocked by Print in the UK. We haven't been able to get Alexandra Renke dies since before Brexit. Brexit has a lot to answer for, I have to say. And I noticed there's a difference in the dies now to the ones pre-Brexit. The colour is now in this sort of coppery colour, a bit like Spellbinders. And she has identification on the back, alexandrerenke.com on the back. I think there have been so many pirate versions of Alexandra Renke dies that they felt compelled to put identification on the back to show that they are genuine. So, a stencil, I love this, in that, you know, there's several little layouts within one stencil of the same design, little hearts. So what my thought is, very clean and simple card. This is a 5x7 card. I have a fancy for one of these bits of stenciling sort of somewhere on the, maybe that one or this one. And then these just kind of on the top like that, gently coloured. And a greeting, maybe. I don't know. That one's quite a nice one. That big one. Perhaps I'll use that one. So the way my mind worked thinking about this was, what colour hearts would I like to have? And I'm thinking on the red spectrum, pink, red. So if I'm going to go with pink or red or whatever, what colour in Distress Oxides will go with what shades of my marker pens that actually belong on a freesia. So I had a look online to see what colours freesias come in, and actually they do come in pinks. So I thought, I'm fine. So then I thought, what colour background would I like? And I decided spun sugar. Okay, once I decided spun sugar, then I went to this chart to see which colours of marker would go with spun sugar. So I have fished some out. What I've got is RV 270, which is that one. I've got RV 260, which is this one. That's that one. And then I also picked RV 280, which is that one, just for a little bit of kind of highlighting. I am actually wondering if that is not a bit too blue, whether I want something more on this R14. I'll keep that for the minute. And I have chosen YG173 as the colour for the stem, which is that one there. And I'm going to use just the one marker, using it over and over in some places as a shadow rather than using a different colour. Okay, so that's how the mind worked prior to starting. So then what I did was to cut my 5x7 card and a panel to go on the front. So the first thing I'm going to do is to do my stenciling onto this panel. So I'm thinking kind of, let's see where we want it. I think I fancy them just, this is how they're arranged here, actually, and I think it's a really pretty arrangement. That one goes more like kind of that. It doesn't actually look quite the same, does it? But that's the kind of thing, one going one way and crossing over each other. So what I'm trying to do is, yes, I think I'll do this one, and I will do it just there. I think I'll put just a tad of tape, just A, to keep the stencil still on the card front, and B, to make sure that my brush, when I'm doing this little heart here, doesn't come onto the actual outside of the stencil. Whoops. There we go. So that's just going to keep it down and keep it straight, hopefully. So here's my spun sugar. I put it on a silicone mat in an attempt to try and keep it slightly stiller when utilising. So actually I'm going to put a bit that side too, otherwise I might stray that side as well. I just want to protect the card from any stray brush strokes. There we go. Right, back to it. I sometimes do this, put my finger over adjoining bits of stencil that I don't want to be incorporated. Okay, so there's my stenciling. Very simple, just a little bit of ink. Isn't that pretty? Just look. Love it. Okay, next thing, my 2 bits of freesia. They don't call them freesias. What do they call them? Flower 310. D-A-R for Alexandra Renke. F-L-O, presumes that's flower 310. Glockenblümchen. Bellflower. That's not a bellflower. That's a freesia. Anyway, there you go. Right, here are my 2 flowers. Never know whether to take them from the front or the back. Often taking them out the back is easier. Push this one through as well. There we go. Okay. So now I want to colour these. I'll just put that out of the way for a minute. Get a bit of something to put them onto. Let's do the stem first. Okay, I'm going to go around this bit. Someone said to me they don't want me to fast forward through colouring because they find it, you know, helpful. So I'm not going to fast forward through this. So what I'm doing here is doing the stem itself, but just as, you know, where the flower starts to sprout from the stem, it's still a little bit of green, just a little bit. Now I'll use the broad side of this for coming down this narrow stem and up the leaf. But I'm going to use the narrow side again just to emphasize this left-hand side of the leaf. So do a few more layers to intensify the colour in that area. There we go. And I always tend to put my shadow towards the left, and I think it's to do with the fact that before I got this ring light, I had a craft light on a big long arm thing, and that light used to come from my right, so the shadows were automatically on the left. So that's kind of why I got into the habit of putting my shading on the left hand side. Okay, same here. Use the narrow one first of all. Just go up a bit more into these, because these ones are still kind of buds, really. The only hint of colour will be on the ends of these ones. A bit more intensity at the bottom, right joined to the stem. I think I can do this one with this one for the minute. And a bit more intensity on the left-hand side. few more swipes. Oh, I'll use the other end, it's easier to do a narrow bit. Okay, so there's our leaves done, or not leaves, stems. Now, the deepest of these is RB2. I've just got, actually, these are 3 consecutive numbers in the Ohuhu series. So 260, RV, these are RVs, which is red violet. 260, 270 and 280. So I'm going to start with the deep one. And I'm going to do, again, my left-hand side. This one, as I say, this colour is a bit hectic. So I'm not going to be using it again, I don't think, because I want to tone it down. I think pinks are incredibly difficult to get right, you know. Okay, I don't think that one's coming out again. Let's have the next one, 270. Oh, wrong end. Going over the stuff I've just done, just to calm that pink down a bit. It's got a bit of depth, but it's a bit blue. So I'm going over what I did, plus a little bit more. So it's kind of modifying the colour I've just done, but putting a little bit of fresh of this colour down as well as. Okay. Now the last one, the light one, is going to go all over it. I'll do this end, I think. That still needs a little something, just a little bit of definition. I think I've said a lie. I am going to use this deep one again, but I'm going to calm it down afterwards. Just in the little sort of crevices where the colour will be most intense. Lightest one again. This is the one, I think. Light, yeah. Okay. Let's have a look at our card front again now. That is actually too much. It's too much. I'll use that for something else because this is it's too much of that for this. I feel. I think I would have done better with maybe that one. That's coming from the right hand side. That's coming from the top corner. I think that one probably. I'll cut another panel and we'll just see the difference. Okay, here's another panel. So let's try this one here. About there, I think. Is that where I want them? I think so. I think that side's all going to be all right. It's not quite level. Just a moment. That's better. Right, I'll just put this on. See what we think. Okay. Perhaps a bit more subtle. Let's have a look. I think that's better. Definitely think that's better. So, you live and learn, don't you really? That will come in for something else. I'll find some useful little something or other to go on it. So, I'm going to put this onto, talk about clean and simple. Isn't it pretty though? Onto there. And we'll have a little sentiment just here, I think. I'll think about the sentiment that I want. It's just so pretty, this. Isn't it that just gorgeous, gorgeous dies? Absolutely beautiful. Okay, short and sweet today, but beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I will take a photograph when I've added a sentiment, put it on the end of the video, and then also on my Facebook page. Now available in the UK from Miserprint. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you for watching. Thank you so much. I'm so close to my 20,000 subscribers on YouTube. So if anybody who's been watching for a while but hasn't actually hit the subscribe button, I would be so pleased if you could. Apparently, about looking at analytics, about 40% of people who watch regularly actually haven't pressed the button and subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. Doesn't cost anything at all to you. And it actually does mean a lot to me. So if you could, that would be wonderful. As ever, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.